G'day everyone, Tempo here and welcome to the TD Project. In today's episode I'm going to be talking about COVID-19 again because despite what many Australians and many people around the world think, it is still a thing. Like, we're still in the middle of this global pandemic. We haven't completely evaded the grasp of this global virus. Like, we're still in the middle of it, and despite the fact that the number of cases have gone down and many places have arguably prematurely lifted the restrictions with regards to their lockdown rules, Australia included, we're still in the middle of this, and despite that, many people have gone out and done large gatherings and been completely oblivious to social distancing because wake up call everyone, social distancing is also still a thing because COVID-19, the coronavirus, is still a thing, and people are out there participating in protests, large protests I might add, and I'm not having a go at the reasons behind the protests, but I think the fact that we are organising and participating in large protests needs to be addressed, because I honestly believe that the protests will spread COVID-19, and within the next week or so we'll probably hear news that we're going to get a second wave. Like, I'm calling it now. A week or so from these protests, we're going to hear news that these gatherings, these protests have triggered another wave of COVID-19, and then we're going to have to take a few steps back. We're going to shift the whole country, the whole world into reverse gear, go back a couple steps, because we couldn't abide by basic social distancing and lockdown rules, and everyone seems to have forgotten that we're still in the middle of this coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic, and it's going to start again. All the work that Australia and the world has put in the last few months is going to be for nothing, because people have gotten together and completely been oblivious to the fact that social distancing is still a thing, and we're going to bring on another wave. So that's what today's video is going to be about. Now, I'm not having a go at the cause or the reasoning behind people organising the protests for Black Lives Matter. I think it's a good cause to get behind. I will have a go, however, at the people organising and participating in the protests against the lockdown rules. You really shouldn't be protesting against that. We need those. I'm pretty sure I made a video about that. The link for that is somewhere. But yeah, so the main prevalent protests right now with regards to Black Lives Matter, all for that. Like, if you want to get behind that cause, I highly encourage everyone to get behind that cause. But I think the scale, the magnitude to which these protests are being done with regards to how many people are physically participating is a bit much. And I think right now, with the way the world is right now with regards to COVID-19, lockdown restrictions and social distancing, I think it is unnecessary for you people, like the number of people that did participate, to participate, especially in the way that has gone down, because social distancing is still a thing, and it's really hard to maintain 1.5 meters distance from everyone if there's like 10 to 50,000 people in a small area. Like, it's a highly densely populated area when you cram like 50,000 people into a street or a not so large public area. Like, there's not much room to move, there's not a lot of wiggle room, and this is one of the ways that COVID-19 can spread. Like, there's a reason why it's recommended everyone stay 1.5 meters away. Rule of thumb, to just get this out there, I'm sure we all did this in kindergarten. If you're standing too close to everyone, all you had to do was everyone stick their arms out like this, move in a circle, and if you bump into someone while doing that, you're too close. Like, that's the rule of thumb in my opinion. Like, that's about 1.5 meter if everyone is 2 arm lengths away. But you look at all the pictures, all the videos going up on the media, whether it's the social media or the news or a current affair or whatever, and just there's all these people standing ridiculously close in a claustrophobic kind of manner, and it's like, it basically looks like a snapshot from the Ivy nightclub back in the day, and it's just ridiculous. You're way too close to everyone, and that's how the virus spreads, guys. Like, I get it's a noble cause, it's a noble matter that's triggered these protests. Like, get behind the Black Lives Matter movement, I'm not putting down why these protests have happened, but it needs to be addressed. The way these protests are going on is most likely going to trigger another wave of COVID-19. Everyone's going to have to go back into rewind with regards to lockdown rules and regulations. There's going to be more social distancing. Maybe some of the businesses that have started to open will have to shut again. Everything's going to be thrown backwards because 10 to 50,000 people all in like various cities and all around the world have gone behind this movement in a way which would have been fine, say, last year. Like, if this happened last year and all you people got out together with these protests, I wouldn't have said a thing. But the fact of the matter is we're still in the middle of this pandemic, and you being too close to each other, especially a large number of people in the tens of thousands in small areas, you're going to make these areas highly densely populated, and that's how the virus is going to spread. Okay, and we're not going to know until another week or so after these protests have happened if this is going to do anything. And I'm calling it now. These protests will trigger another wave of COVID-19. And I also want to throw out there are many people out there participating in these protests that say, stuff COVID-19, stuff the coronavirus. I don't care if I get it, because this is a noble cause. Me getting behind this protest is a noble cause, and stuff the virus. Well, if you don't care about you getting the virus, well, okay, whatever, but I'm just saying, if you get the virus, it's probably then going to spread from you to someone else that does not want to get the virus and will probably get a lot more sickeningly affected by it. Like, the problem is not healthy and young people getting the virus. The problem is that healthy and young people spreading the virus to other people that aren't so young or aren't so healthy and are more vulnerable to the implications of getting the virus. That's the problem. So you can't be all like, I don't care if I get it, and it probably won't affect me too much, but you know what, guys? It's not just about you. You getting the virus is going to increase the chance of you spreading it to someone else, and there's a high chance it's going to spread to someone that can't handle it, and they might even die. So, while yeah, I'm in full support of people getting behind causes and protests like this, I think we need to address the fact that it should have been better organized. And with the way the world is, you can still get behind protests like this. You can still get behind these movements without physically being there. There's other ways to protest without physically being involved in this protest. And I just also want to throw out there that I think it needs to be addressed that Australia, parts of Australia legalised these protests despite the fact that they were in direct breach of the social distancing and lockdown rules. But we legalised them, but then Australia couldn't actively, physically participate in Anzac Day commemorations and stuff like that. Like, I feel like that's a little bit of a double standard there, but like that, I feel the need to throw that out there. But yeah, gonna try and wrap this up now. Guys, we don't want to go backwards with regards to stopping the spread of COVID-19, and I reckon you've completely undone all the hard work that's gone into the last few months by physically participating in these protests. So, I'm just throwing that out there, guys. But hey, I guess that's just my opinion. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And yeah, please do all those YouTube things. You know, like, comment, share, subscribe, get notified, be kind, rewind, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.